It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Cleveland Cavaliers out at Quicken Loans Arena. Checking out Cleveland, just one win over the last 7 games. They're not happy with how they're playing, looking to make amends tonight. And tonight, what about Colin Sexton? 6'2". Kenny, this guy's a natural scorer, still trying to evolve as a playmaker.
Played for a good friend of mine, Avery Johnson, down there. Extremely quick, athletic, creates for himself easily. Still learning how to create for others, but he's a great prospect.
You know what I like? He's unafraid of contact. He pushes the action and plays with a lot of passion.
You afraid of contact?
Nope. It's too quick for you. You couldn't even touch me.
Why'd you move?
Look at that.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm stretching. My neck's hurting.
You guys are both softies. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.
It's the home of the Cavaliers here in Cleveland, Ohio, as we bring you an interconference match here at the Quicken Loans Arena. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Sacramento is working their way through a road trip going into today's game. And guys, we won't be seeing Larry Nance, who is injured.
Yeah, Kevin, no more uncertainty about the seriousness of the injury. Well, we only got a preliminary diagnosis after he came out of that previous game, but now they sound sure about it, and hopefully we see him back on the court in less than a month.
Well, that's great news, especially for those of us who happened to watch what happened to him. I mean, it was shocking, and you could sense definitely his frustration with the injury.
Tonight, two teams that like to slow it down a little bit, playing that half-court ball. Brent, we don't get to see that as often as we kind of have in the past.
Well, and that's okay, Kevin, because coaches who have a roster that's full of guys who they feel like physically can take advantage of defenses wearing down, or they're looking at their opponent as somebody who's not really patient defensively and wants to play through a 24-second possession. Then if you slow it down, you might have more opportunities for post-ups, cuts, and late baskets because of defensive breakdown.
Coaches knowing what they've got to work with.
Well, you got to know your personnel.
Yep. Let's take a look at our starters for Sacramento. Down low, it's Bagley and Cauley-Stein. Fox is at the point with Hield next to him at the 2. And it's Bogdanovich in at the small forward position.
Well, he's a little bit more than just an outside shooter. Buddy Hield finding himself, that time maneuvers inside to get good position.
Osman kicks to Sexton. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Hield the pass to Cauley-Stein. Dishes it to Fox. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
De'Aaron Fox, another hyper-athletic point guard out of Kentucky. Great size at 6'4". He can impact the game at both ends.
And De'Aaron Fox made his mark at Kentucky with his terrific on-ball defense. He puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, I mean, he picks up 94 feet, and that's really how you set the bar for your team, with how hard you compete at the defensive end.
Free throw good, Fox. The question mark for De'Aaron Fox coming into the league was his jump shot, Brent, and his lone season at Kentucky, 21% from the three-point line. That climbed over 30% as a pro.
Well, hopefully he just has progression as a shooter in the league, and that'll be a major impact on just how far De'Aaron Fox's career goes, and if maybe one time in the Western Conference he'll participate in the All-Star game.
With the Timberwolves' playoff appearance last season, Brent, in 2018, the longest playoff drought in the NBA now held by the Sacramento Kings.
Yep, 12 seasons for the Kings on the outside looking into the playoffs, and in that time their one-loss record, they've won just 35% of their games. So fans hoping that the Kings can crown off a season by getting themselves into the playoffs.
Now here's Hield. His last outing with 20 points.
Well, he's a good shooter from the mid-range. Hield had some breathing room, took a deep breath, and fired.
Now Sexton. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Golden State. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. Greg, what are some of the positives that Tristan Thompson's play brings to the team?
Still a very efficient scorer on the shots that he does take, and he lives mostly inside the paint, and still a strong offensive rebounder. But his days of being a threat on the offensive end as the game has evolved seems to have kind of gone away.
Shooting two.
The first one falls. Well, you knew it wouldn't last forever. Couldn't last forever. LeBron's departure in the offseason, a huge blow to this Cleveland franchise.
And it's going to be talk and speculation as to why LeBron James left again. And that's going to continue all season long. But ultimately, the team, the city, they need to regroup. They need to reset. They need to think about their future. And they did a good job of gathering assets and some youth in the departure of LeBron James. But, man, that's a hole they're never going to fill, Kevin.
Here's Johnson following the basket by Buddy Hield. Johnson with it. In the loss to the Warriors the other night, definitely was not himself. Here's Sexton, just 5 to shoot. From about 19 feet, that misses off the backboard. For Sacramento, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Bogdanovich wide open, and he's good on the 3-ball. Bogdanovich has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Cavaliers trail by 8. Sexton kicks to Johnson. Over Bogdanovich. Great touch on the 16-footer.
Joe is a scorer and a shooter, but it always looks prettiest from the mid-range.
Pass to Bagley. Over Fry. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Well, due for a miss after 4 of 5 to begin this one.
Here's Osman. Covered by Hield. For 3, Fry nailed from three-point land.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Kevin, I was able to speak with Dave Yeager for just a minute. He told me this is a fun night trying to slow down a team that's so smart and opportunistic. He said, look, we've scouted them, but this is the first time we've actually seen them this season. So it will be interesting to see if we can disrupt their offense and slow them down just a little bit. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thanks as always. Their goal early on is a simple one, keeping those opposing shooters from getting hot.
Yeah, and so defensively, they can't get tied into any one strategy. It might take a few different approaches here before they find one that works.
One approach, GA, might be clogging up the passing lanes and make it really difficult to move the ball around the perimeter, get away from the shifting, and keep the open three-point looks to a minimum.
First one falls for him. Here at the midway point, what we begin to realize now, there were some underrated pickups in the offseason that are showing what they can do.
Yeah, these are the kind of moves where at the end of the year you start thinking about candidates for executive of the year because they've plugged some holes. They've had an acquisition that's made their bench deeper, and we start to see in an 82-game season that maybe in the 55th to 57th game, a pickup like that is helping them win ball games. This is where those guys earn their money, the general manager.
Not wholesale changes. Just one guy can change a team slightly, and that nuance pays off.
Oh, anything subtle like that, that's where really you tip your hat to the general managers who understood that at some point during the year, we're going to lean on this player.
Here's Fox after Joe Johnson's score. Fox dishes to Heel. Elbow shot. That's good on the jump shot. Heald's got 10 points in the game.
This guy is just shredding the defense right now. He's hitting any shots he's putting up.
Here's Sexton. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game. Now, here's Fry. He's tightly guarded. Off target with his 3. Kings leading now by 5. And here is Fox. 9 points last game out. Here's the floater. It's hauled in by Fry. Cleveland's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Johnson in the corner. That 3 off the mark. The Kings have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. Now, here's Fox. And we know he can score. He's averaging around 21.5 points a game. And it's Bagley in the corner. And another 3 for Sacramento.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now, here's Sexton. Guarded by Fox. Johnson, the pass to Sexton. Fires the 3. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession. And we can look quickly at a group of rookies having a very good run, the top scoring first-year players in the NBA for the past 10 games. Second is Colin Sexton.
And, you know, they've given him some more responsibility offensively. In these past 2 weeks, he's responded.
Now Heel. He's got 10. Here's Fox, and Thompson sends it back.
Well, Thompson lives in the paint, and defensively, occasionally, you're going to get to shots like that.
They could use a bucket. In deep, Sexton drops it in. Sexton's got his second bucket of the night.
And how about the terrific use of the crossover there to just throw the defender off balance?
Bogdanovich finds Cauley-Stein.
Thompson comes with the double team. And stolen by Sexton. To the paint, here's Johnson. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And the Cavaliers with some changes. Hood's checked in for Fry. Jordan Clarkson comes in for Jetty Osman. And George Hills subbed in for Sexton. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. This year comes in for Bagley. Bielitsa, he checks in for Bogdanovich. And Farrell subbed in for De'Aaron Fox. That's good from Johnson.
Well, the Kings entering their second full campaign here without DeMarcus Cousins. Did they get equal value in that trade that they made? Probably not, but they have the flexibility, and they've added to this roster with some young talent and see if they can make some combinations here work to escape the mediocrity that they're in.
Now here's Hield. 10 points for him. Just 3 to shoot. Fires the 3. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
Let's see some of the numbers here on Joe Johnson. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's averaging 14 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
from all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And the basket by Hill. And the Kings talked about a culture change as they parted ways with Cousins. Brent, do you see it that way?
Well, DeMarcus Cousins was learning and growing. And the interesting thing you go back to is his relationship with Denver Nuggets coach now, Mike Malone. It seemed like they were on a good path, and then a lot of other things happened around this basketball team. So just trying to clear the air, trying to make things fresh and new. They have the new arena. I think that's helping them along. But now it's incumbent on the front office to deliver with this clean slate they have in front of them.
Now here's Hield. He seems to always be finding ways to score, averaging around 23.5 points a game. He leads and misses.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Johnson gets the bucket. Johnson's got 9 points.
Yeah, he's a heady player. He knows how to get himself going and giving his team a real advantage right now on the offensive end.
Hield kicks to Koufos. The pass to Farrell. Back to Koufos. Hield from outside. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Still the strongest part of Buddy Hield's game. He is a lethal shooter. What a perfect stroke that was.
Hill dishes to Clarkson. The rebound by Hield.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Here's Farrell. Right through the D for the layup. And now a 4-point Kings lead. And so Hill will bring it up for Cleveland. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
You know, I don't like to use the word shock, but that was a shocking result for me. Nobody saw that one coming. To lose to that team was surprising enough, but to get blown out like that?
Yeah, that's a bit of a head scratcher there. That was a case where every single thing that could have gone wrong for them, it showed up.
Here's Farrell following the basket by George Hill. Labissiere with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. Labissiere kicks to Farrell. Over Johnson. Johnson with the block, and he recovers it. Farrell gets the bucket. The Cavaliers trail by 4. Hill looking it over. Pass to Clarkson. Johnson at the elbow. Outside Hood. Just 5 on the clock. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Rodney Hood getting traded last season in part because, Greg, he was due for a big contract this last summer.
And you just knew Hood would be a player a lot of teams threw offers at this year. Rare to find guards as tall as Hood who can shoot the way he can, just entering his prime. And the contract this team gave him might be a bit of a gamble, but it's one that could pay off in a huge way if he keeps improving.
That free throw good from Hood.
Well, Rodney Hood is a guy who's out here to stretch the floor and mix up his game a little bit, trying to regain some confidence in what he can provide offensively.
Both free throws good from Hood. Something the NBA has tested out in the G League, Brent. Coaches' challenges. What do you think?
I think the idea of making sure that the handkerchief matches the tie is a great idea.
Only you would say that. Only you would say that.
I'm just worried with some of the casual styles in the NBA that it's not going to be accessible. But
I think you're right.
I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to be interesting for the league. But it's going to happen.
Anything to make these coaches do more, make more decisions.
Make more decisions and make decisions that you know can impact whether or not your team wins the basketball game or loses it. Because after a referee makes a determination that you think might be the other way, or they don't look at a replay where you're sure and certain that you could get possession, I'm reaching for the hanky.
And that's a foul called on Yogi Ferrell. That's his first foul. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Cleveland. And Thompson kicks to Korver. And Johnson now top of the key. Clarkson against Hield. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Here's Bielitsa, guarded by Korver. 55 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Labissiere. That shot no good. Cavaliers go the other way with it. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Sacramento.
And it was a matchup you thought they would have cruised through, but they actually dropped a game in this series last year.
Now, here's Thompson. He's coming off a 10-point game against Golden State.
And he also positioned himself perfectly to grab all those rebounds. Guys, can't forget about the fundamentals.
Here's Farrell after Kyle Korver's bucket. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Farrell passes to Hield. Shot clock at 6. That shot off.
Defense timed that out perfectly. Love the aggressiveness. And then they changed the shot's direction.
Hill. And it's all evened up. Hill's got 6 points.
Well, sometimes being long and athletic can help you finish through contact. George Hill with a great job there.
It's a tie game here in Cleveland. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. A top performer in clutch situations. Joe Johnson discusses his mindset when the game is on the line.
For me, not wanting to let my teammates down. I've always been kind of thrust in that position. For the most part, man, I just try and take my time. Nobody's really helping on the last second shot. Nobody wants their man to score, so it's just a mano a mano, and luckily I've made a few.
I'd say more than a few at this point. Joe Johnson has shown, Greg, that he's capable in the clutch.
And size and shooting touch, two things that age well in our league. He can still get it done.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And what do you guys think about the Cavaliers so far in this one?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, that prevented some points, didn't it? Also, how you have that intimidation factor going early on, you wonder if in the fourth quarter they'll think back to the first.
Channing Frye out there with Kyle Korver. Then it's George Hill. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. And it's Thompson in at the 5. That's the group for Cleveland going right now here in the second.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
It's Bielitsa. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Korver with it to the middle. Clarkson finds Hill. Unloads from 13. Good work there as it goes. Hill's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Cleveland. From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, the Kings signed some quality vets last season, but when the losses piled up, they decided to go young. Now, the focus is on development. The veterans still have a role providing steadying presence on the court and in the locker room. Kevin?
David, it certainly is a balancing act. Thanks for that report. The Cavaliers making a switch here. Sexton's checked in. The Kings also at the sub. De'Aaron Fox is checked in for Buddy Hield. This year kicks to Bielitsa. From 15 feet away, and Kosta Koufos picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Some changes for Sacramento. Bagley comes in for Labissiere, and it's Bogdanovich in for Bielitsa. Cavaliers leading. Outside Hill. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Passes it to Sexton. Shot clock at 5. From downtown, Bagley with the rebound. Sacramento's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory.
How many chapters last year were there to the Cavs season? A lot of player movement, a lot of drama in the locker room, and obviously trying to find their way back to the NBA Finals, which they eventually did. So would we say a successful year overall? Probably, but a little mismatched.
Sexton the pass to Thompson. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. And here's what the Cleveland Cavaliers schedule looks like. On Saturday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. Then on Monday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And that game against the Knicks, even though they should get the win, I would expect it to be a bit of a battle. Just because they are favored doesn't mean it's an automatic W.
And for all the things the Cavs went through last season, Brent, they still managed to get 50 wins.
Yeah, good enough for the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference last year. I wonder if they were not a home team, if they would have gotten back to the finals. It would have been interesting with all the additions to that roster, trying to come up with a makeshift offense around LeBron James, if they would have gotten to his 8th finals last year. Pushed to the limit several times, but ultimately appearing again in the NBA Finals.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Fox. It's stolen by Korver. Here's Hill, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to go on to Aaron Fox.
See, George Hill, when he decides to drive like that, Kevin, right to the rack, that's when he's effective. He got contact.
Brent, George Hill is a guard who has been as consistent as it gets from deep the last few seasons in the league.
Well, Hill's always been a good shooter since entering the league. Remember starting his career in San Antonio, so he showed off his wares alongside Tim Duncan in the post, where he could spot up and gain his confidence. And the last 3 seasons for him, he's been over 40%.
The free throw drops for Hill.
And the athleticism that George Hill can bring to the point guard position makes him impressive. He does it so well on both ends, especially when he's engaged.
Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Sacramento. He hits both from the stripe.
Now, you look at George Hill's game, and he doesn't wow you in any way, but he's a complete basketball player. Strong outside shooter, but might be most valuable defensively. Often regarded as one of the best defensive guards in the league.
Here's Fox, and it's Fox with the jam.
How about Fox getting up on the inside? Love to see the point guard rise up.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. And another miss by Cleveland. And with Hill and his defense, perhaps what is best about it is that he can guard both guard positions, and that makes him valuable.
Yeah, and that flexibility gives a coach and his lineup so much leeway. Hill has a great wingspan, about 6'9", and can be very disruptive defensively. Very good at fighting through screens to stick with his assignments as well.
From 15 feet away, off the left rim and out.
I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Tips it. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Bagley's got 5 points so far.
And how about the persistence on the backboard? Love how hard Bagley works on the offensive glass. Wants to outwork everybody.
Pass to Sexton. Fox with the steal. Goes up, and it's Fox with the jam.
Like to see Fox with that fast, quick decision on the defensive end of the floor.
Here's Sexton. He feeds it to Korver. Can they get it? Misses that one. His first miss of the night. 2 for 3. Kings leading now by 5. Tries a 3. A nice shot by Bogdanovich. He has 6.
And right now, the game plan seems to be working.
It looks like this team has finally gotten into the club and found its rhythm, trying their best to pull away.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Cavaliers. And Bogdanovich, Greg, a highly decorated player internationally. Multiple silver medals with the Serbian national team, a EuroLeague champion back in 2017.
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented player, very skilled, and at 6'6" can play either guard spot. Great shooter. I think he's one to watch.
Rodney Hood's checked in for Cleveland. Osman comes in for Hill. So for the Kings, they come in off the loss to the Suns.
And they couldn't get stops when they needed to. The opposition just too comfortable shooting the basketball.
And it's not that you have to take chances, but you got to step up your effort and try to get disruptive. They never did that. And on the road, that's a recipe for disaster.
Sexton the pass to Thompson. Floats one. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Cauley-Stein's got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight.
And this has been an outstanding display on the boards, and it's a big part of why they have a lead in this game, doing the dirty work down low.
And Yogi Ferrell, the undrafted Indiana product, went undrafted after staying all 4 years in Bloomington, but he has shown, Greg, to be a very strong player.
Yeah, and Ferrell is the perfect example of why you give a 4-year player a chance. Knows how to make the most of his time on the floor. I think he could start for a team, maybe be the sixth man, lead the second unit, play off the guard. He is just such a versatile player.
And the first one at the line is good.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
Both good from the line that time. When it comes to veteran players, Brent, on a team, what characteristics make for a good leader for a bunch of young guys under him?
We talk a lot about veteran guys on teams, Kevin, and I think one of the most important aspects to think about is that those veterans have a lot more impact if they're still part of playing minutes for a coaching staff. At some point, 4 or 5 months into a season, an older player is telling you how to do something and only get a chance to see it during practice or him pointing it out on film when you're playing, doesn't have as much of an impact.
Doesn't resonate
right.
as much.
When a guy gets 15 minutes a night and you get to see him do those things as a young player from the bench and say, wow, everything he told me on my list, he's checked all those boxes. So having a vet that plays, much more impactful.
Good point. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Fry. Got it. Good job in the low post. Fry's got his second basket of the night. Sacramento leading by 10. And here is Fox. He's got 10. Cauley-Stein dishes to Bogdanovich. And another 3 for Sacramento.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Cleveland's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Bogdanovich against Hood. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Hood's got 4 this quarter.
Hood just sizing up the defense and pretty much takes what it gives him.
Now here's Cauley-Stein. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Sexton kicks to Fry. And the call will be against Marvin Bagley. That's his first foul. And the Cavaliers with some changes. Johnson comes in for Thompson. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Sexton. And a change for the Kings. Bielitsa's checked in. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. And the pass to Fry. 6 on the shot clock. They get it back. Osman. And he banks in the layup.
I like the physicality there on the glass on full display. Great at hitting the boards and then capitalizing off the second chance opportunity.
Bogdanovich against Clarkson. Now, here's Bogdanovich. He's covered closely. That one's not going to go. Here's Osman. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And Joe Johnson unselfish with that play. You can call his number just about any time, but turning down a good shot for a great one, good on you, Joe.
Cauley-Stein with it, working on Fry. Stolen by Clarkson. And here's the fast break. Here's Osman. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
2 shots, foul, 2.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers in this roster, Brent, a lot of sharpshooters that can get hot at any time.
Well, 3rd in the league last season in made threes, and the team does a really good job of drawing and kicking and finding shooters. And they had the 5th best rated offense last year, mostly because of how well they shot the ball from distance.
And so he makes both from the line.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
And the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
A moment now to see the numbers for Cauley-Stein. 18th in blocks. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And yeah, you see he's been doing this all year. One of the best shot blockers in the league, always threatening to send it back in style. Now Hood. He's got 6. Kicks it to Clarkson. Five on the clock. Sweet little floater. Clarkson's got his first bucket of the night.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Fox passes to Labissiere. Back to Fox. A floater, and it's blocked. Johnson with it. 9 points in the game so far. Clarkson finds Hood. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. And now just a 3-point Sacramento lead. Here's Hield. 13 points in the game. Fox passes to Cauley-Stein. The layup missed.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Pass to Osman. He kicks to Clarkson. 1:22 left in the first half. Johnson down low. Bielitsa's there. Johnson can't get it to go. And here is Fox. 12 points for him. In the corner, it's Hield. Off the mark, and the drought continues. The Cavaliers trail by 3. Hood deciding where to go with it. Passes it to Osman. Now, here's Fry. Cauley-Stein defending. Here's Clarkson. And it's Fox with the rebound. Fox has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
So Fox really daring them right now to foul him on the inside.
And this is his 2nd trip to the line in the game. No good on the free throw.
Well, the quickness of De'Aaron Fox really is incredible. I got a chance to see John Wall early in his career, and it was the speed that we talked about, but speed can kill. And if De'Aaron Fox can control it, he'll be fantastic at creating opportunities for himself and his teammates.
George Hill's checked in for Cleveland. Kufis checked in for the Kings. And he's good on the second.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
And so it's Hill with it. He brings it up for the Cavaliers. Trailing by 4. Softly drops in the floater. Hill's got 12.
Well, he weasels his way to the inside there, and that little breathing room, that helped George Hill to score.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Dave Yeager. Coach, what is going to be the focus offensively going into the second half?
Well, we try to go inside. That's our strength anyways. And for us, our bread is buttered inside, so we try to play high-low. And then if the threes come out of that, great, but we want to try to get everything to the rim.
Coach, it all starts with that entry pass to the big, and then everybody plays off of him. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Some big-time action already in this one. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Sacramento came out looking very confident. Competing with a chip on their shoulders, they started things off with an 11-3 run. As the first quarter came to a close, however, they found themselves up by just 4. A tightly contested second quarter saw them inch out ahead, but only slightly, and they now lead by 2 at the half. What'd you think about Sacramento, Kenny?
You have to love a team that pounds the offensive glass. That's going to gain you extra possessions. And check this out. Sometimes just having more offensive chances than your opponent wins the basketball game.
Shaq, how do you think Cleveland played?
Well, their reserves came in and played like starters. Gave them some big points off the bench. It'll be no surprise to see them get more minutes in the second half. They definitely deserve it. Though sometimes when you get more minutes, you get exposed. We shall see.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
Welcome back to Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. My wife and I toured that recently. It is worth the price of admission. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. It's been one outstanding game from De'Aaron Fox.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, he has been dominant as we expected coming into this one. Skilled and relentless.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. The Kings leading. Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor for Sacramento. On the wings, Hield and Bogdanovich. Down low, it's Bagley and Cauley-Stein. And it's Fox in at the point. Willie Cauley-Stein, the 6th overall pick back in 2015. Brent, how do you evaluate his progress as an NBA player?
Well, I think it's been a tough situation in Sacramento with so much changeover in personnel, a coaching change as well. He's still pretty raw offensively. He was drafted out of Kentucky as a defensive player, and that's so far where mostly his impact has been felt.
Pass to Fox. He dishes it to Hield. Cauley-Stein kicks to Fox. Hield from outside. And the call will be against Marvin Bagley. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Cavaliers trail by 4. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. And Buddy Hield is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. Now, here's Sexton, guarded by Fox. And Tristan Thompson on the bucket with the assist by Sexton.
Tough for teams to combat Tristan Thompson's physical play down there on the inside. Even when you get a hand up, he's capable of draining the shot.
Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Fox passes to Hield. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Launches a 3. It's hauled in by Fry. Fry's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Osman, covered by Hield. Osman kicks to Fry. Some nice passing by Cleveland here for the tie. And it's Osman missing. Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Out to the right wing. Hield dishes to Cauley-Stein. Down low. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Fry passes to Osman. Now here's Fry, guarded by Fox. There's the pass to Cauley-Stein. Hield outside. And once again off the mark by Sacramento.
Yeah, they got to hope to turn it on soon. 1 of 4 so far, and they know they got to be better.
Inside, and Sexton slams it in.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. And Channing Frye gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul of the game. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Joe Johnson. And a change for Sacramento. Farrell's checked in for Hield. Bogdanovich finds Cauley-Stein. 6 to shoot. Here's Farrell. The Kings need to get off a shot here. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Cavaliers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Osman, and some very quick points for him on that possession. Osman's got 8 points.
Sexton has to just keep developing his court awareness. You want to see more passing from him.
Now here's Bagley. 5 points in the game. And Cauley-Stein throws it down.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Bogdanovich up top, guarded by Korver. Farrell passes to Cauley-Stein. And yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. And that one falls for Cauley-Stein.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
Well, Greg, and Willie Cauley-Stein, a live wire 7-footer.
I mean, he's got great foot speed for his size. I just like to see him really become more aggressive offensively and try to improve that skill set. But his mobility is so desirable in today's game.
Here's Fox. He's got 13. And Bogdanovich kicks to Fox. Here's the floater. It's good, and it's his 6th make against 11 attempts.
Well, this is when Fox is at his best. Once he gets a step on the defense, you're pretty much going to read the back of that jersey.
Osman, the pass to Thompson. There's the dish to Sexton. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. For Sacramento, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the 3rd quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Fox with it. Guarded now by Sexton. They get a hand on it. Here's Osman. 8 points for him. And the rejection by Cauley-Stein. And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Bielitsa, he checks in for Fox. Pass to Osman. Now, here's Sexton. He's guarded closely. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Another 3 for Cleveland.
And there's no question Sexton can flat out score. I mean, he feels like he can get it done from anywhere.
Passes it to Bielitsa. Kicks to Cauley-Stein. Pass to Farrell. Outside Bogdanovich. And right away they match it with a 3-pointer of their own. Bogdanovich has got 12 points in the game. Sexton the pass to Osman. Sinks that one from the post. Osman's got 4 points this quarter. A great competitive game so far.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Here's Farrell. The teardrop falls in. And the Kings lead by 1.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
Here's Sexton. The shot, no good. Ready by Bogdanovich. Here's Farrell. A stupendous finish in traffic. And now a 3-point Kings lead.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Osman kicks to Thompson. To the middle. Sexton's shot is good. He's got 14.
Yeah, the first half was really tough, but he's really rounded a corner here and been fantastic shooting the ball here in the second half.
Here's Bogdanovich, but they recover it. The shot, no good. Cleveland's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the 3rd quarter so far. Here's Sexton, in for his 7th make in 14 tries.
Well, his offense should come with a warning label, caution, flammable. He's connecting on everything. The D looks dumbfounded.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, with all the turmoil in the Cavs locker room last season, some wondered if head coach Tyronn Lue's job could be in jeopardy. Despite leading the team to its first championship in 2016, Lue, like a lot of coaches, finds that his future in the NBA is always subject to speculation. Kevin?
All right, D.A., thank you. Makes that one fall. It's his 8th bucket in 15 shot attempts.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento.
Well, the Kings are certainly in full rebuild mode, adding to this roster with a bunch of young talent. Last season, the bottom 3 team in both offense and defense, and a bottom 4 in rebounding. So plenty of room to make strides this year.
And the Cavaliers with some changes. Rodney Hood's checked in for Korver. And it's Hill in for Channing Frye. And then for Sacramento, Koufos comes in for Yogi Ferrell. And Labissiere subbed in for Bagley. Cauley-Stein kicks to Bielitsa. Cauley-Stein passes to Bielitsa. Right wing. Cauley-Stein finds Bogdanovich. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. But take a look at the Warriors. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum. And checking out Sacramento, just way behind.
And I think for Sacramento, nobody was calling on them to kind of set the world on fire. But even those modest expectations have yet to be realized.
Yep, any glimmers of hope that may have been there early for them have all just disappeared at this point. It's looking more and more like a season that will not end well for this team.
And some hang time on the rim puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. And the Kings looking to develop their young players. Coach Yeager with a deep rotation.
Well, last season it was interesting. If you look at the minutes totals, there was no player that played more than 28 minutes a game. So multitude of players getting tons of opportunities. And they added some veterans in the locker room to try to help those guys along and provide some mentorship.
Cauley-Stein against Clarkson. And Labissiere sends it back.
Well, the reach of Labissiere making impact right there on defense. Dependable with the shot blocking. Well, he's building off that strong first half he had. I'm not sure the defense will be able to figure him out in the second.
Cleveland's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Clarkson looking for an opening. It's rebounded by Labissiere. The Kings shooting 47%, pretty solid. Cauley-Stein's shot is good. Cauley-Stein's got 10 points here in the second half. Cavaliers trailing. Now Johnson. 9 points in the game so far. Clarkson with the ball. And the three ball is good. Clarkson's got 5.
Clarkson draining one from deep, something he has to continue to work on. Stretch out the floor.
Cauley-Stein kicks to Koufos. Here's Bogdanovich. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Hill. The Kings have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
You know, the Kings in 2016 in that draft swapping spots with the Suns, and they went from 8 to 13, and in exchange acquired the rights to Bogdanovich. Sacramento might like to do a 2-over on that with the 13th pick, but Bogdanovich is certainly a keeper.
And the Kings making a change here. Heald's checked in. Well, Bogdanovich, highly decorated in Europe, Brent. Won medals, EuroLeague title, he did it all.
Yeah, over in Europe, known as one of the best players that was playing before coming over to the NBA. And last season, a 25-year-old rookie with some great presence, but he played a lot like a veteran.
As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
He kicks it to Hield. Labissiere dishes to Koufos. It's good. Koufos has got his second basket of the night.
And have to defend better in the paint. They just let him set up way too deep.
Well, he's going to punish you down there if you're not more physical than he is, and look for them to go right back to that play.
Hill with it. Now guarded by Bogdanovich. Hill passes to Thompson. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists now in this one.
Offensively, it's been a perfect quarter for him. He hasn't missed a single shot.
Here's Koufos. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Koufos has got 6.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Clarkson bounce pass for 3. Hill. And another 3 for Cleveland.
You know, nights like this, George Hill can be aggressive. Sometimes coaches ask him to do that. Right now, he's got it going.
Hield against Hill. Hield kicks to Bielitsa. Here's Koufos. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. We come back right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. We've got Rodney Hood. Johnson is out there with Thompson. Then there's Hill, and it's Clarkson in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. And he gets it back. 3-on-3. Here's Fox. Makes it off the glass. Fox has got the game tied up here for the Kings.
The closer that Fox gets inside, the more effective he could say. I guess you could say he's good in the Fox hole.
Clarkson against Hield. Ring shot on the way. And that one good from Clarkson. And the Cavaliers lead by 2.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Up top, Kufis. He's covered by Thompson. Hield can't hit.
Looked a little bit forced. No reason for it either. The defense was not even in the frame.
Hield against Clarkson. Hill kicks to Clarkson. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. Releases from 15. Sacramento grabs the miss. The pass to Hield to the inside. Here's Kufis. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And Costa Kufis picks up a foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Bagley, he's checked in for Sacramento. Outside Hood. Back to Clarkson. Outside Hood. Clock at 6. In the corner, it's Clarkson. Shoots over Fox. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Here's a look at what's coming up now for the Sacramento Kings. They'll go up against the Pacers in Indiana. And then on Monday, they'll go up against the Bulls in Chicago. For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Pass to Kufis. Hill against Hield. And here's Kufis to take the lead. And it's off the back rim. No good. And there's the feed to Hill. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time. And the Cavaliers lead by 2.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
Passes it to Hield. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
How about the Cavs last year, making it back to their 4th straight finals appearance alongside the Golden State Warriors. And for a team in a city that's just had so little to cheer and celebrate about, obviously LeBron James bringing their championship to them a couple years ago.
Gentlemen,
ultimately
shots.
The golden
2
era
shots.
of Cleveland Cavalier basketball.
And the first one drops. And the Cavs and Warriors last year in the finals, Brent, the Cavs had a chance to even the rivalry at 2 wins apiece.
Well, they did, Kevin, but pretty much outmatched last year in the finals. Just too much roster change and not enough firepower to overtake the Golden State Warriors. The depth just wasn't there. It was a great ride last year with LeBron getting back to his 8th finals, but they came up short.
Labissiere brings the double team. And a wide open look for Hood. No good with the triple.
Man, that's a clean shot, too. You got to sink those. He must be disappointed that he blew that chance.
Now here's Bagley. Kicks to Fox. To the paint. Here's Labissiere. Good, and a nice assist from Fox. Fox has got 4 assists now tonight.
Such great movement for a guy his size. Scal Labissiere, capable of rolling to the right space.
Clarkson finds Hill. Back to Clarkson. To the paint. The kick out to Hill. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
Yeah, not sure. Maybe the pressure of the moment got to him there. A really careless error that might ultimately cost the team.
For the Cavaliers, Kyle Korver. He's checked in for Rodney Hood. Osman comes in for Hill. And it's Sexton in for Jordan Clarkson. And a change for Sacramento. Bogdanovich. He's checked in for Labissiere. Bagley dishes to Fox. Tipped away. In the corner, it's Healed. Here's Bagley. And once again, off the mark by Sacramento. Cleveland's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Now, here's Sexton. Guarded by Fox. Sexton, the pass to Thompson. To the middle. And Fry kicks to Thompson. Lets it go from the wing. The Cavaliers again can't hit. For Sacramento, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. Bogdanovich, no luck.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Inside, Osman. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Shooting. Jackie Osman. Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good. That misses, so he splits the free throws.
Well, you wonder how much of the Kings' scoring struggles are really self-inflicted. Either guys sped up on possessions or trying to make too much happen on their own. Last season, the league's 3rd best shooting percentage from long range, but they were bottom 3 in terms of their three-point attempts.
And Thompson kicks to Osman. He's off on that one, so the Kings will take it the other way. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Fox, no good.
Like the tactics on defense there, refusing to give the shooter the easy layup at the rim.
To the paint. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. And the Kings last season playing the league's slowest pace. Brent, does that surprise you given their youth and athleticism?
Well, it does if I look at their draft pick in De'Aaron Fox, who might be one of the fastest players in the game. So maybe something that they address this year is trying to speed up play just a little bit. It's a no-brainer to get Fox out in the open court.
Shot by Hield, nobody around. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. Now it's a 5-point Sacramento lead. Cleveland's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Korver against Bogdanovich. Korver passes to Sexton. And Fry has it in the corner. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Sacramento leading by 5. Here's Bogdanovich. Hield outside. Pulls it from the elbow. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers.
Just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Osman kicks to Sexton. Korver against Bogdanovich. Pass to Osman, trying his luck deep. Bagley with the rebound. Bagley's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Fox. He watches it go through the hoop for his 8th make. Now 8 for 14.
Well, trying to figure out ways to score through contact, De'Aaron Fox does not back down.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
You know, when Marvin Bagley entered the league, there were some questions as to which position would he play. But the versatility he brings is special. He can guard a number of positions, score inside and out, and he is a tremendous rebounder.
Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Kyle Korver. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. He got into him pretty hard. He said, we are being way too soft in there. We need some toughness, and I need some defense. No more easy baskets. Pretty strong words, guys.
Okay, David, thanks. Sexton kicks to Thompson. Here's Fry. And again, unable to change momentum here. And one thing you can't question about Bagley, Greg, his intensity level.
As competitive as they come, he's ferocious around the rim. Oftentimes, he looks like he wants it more than anybody else on the floor.
Sexton, the pass to Johnson. Floats one up, and he lays it up and in.
Ooh, feathered that one in. Johnson on the move, made that one look effortless.
Now, here's Fox. Tight defense on him. Bagley dishes to Fox for 3, and it's Bagley that time on the assist by Fox. 8 points for Marvin Bagley.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Osman kicks to Sexton. And there's the pass to Johnson. Now Sexton. Back to Fry. A 3-ball. Out of bounds. Sacramento will take possession. Kings leading now by 8. Now Fox. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Is on Colin Sexton.
De'Aaron Fox not backing away that time from the contact, drawing the defense into him.
2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
Fox hits them both.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
The Cavaliers trail by 10. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. As the league's star power grows, we see more players taking on roles in entertainment, which is kind of interesting. Do you think that's a distraction at all?
Did you know that I was in a movie myself, Kevin?
Why do you think I'm bringing this up?
Oh,
you have
okay.
firsthand knowledge of this stuff. Your fingerprints are all over this question.
Yeah, not a distraction. I mean, come on, it's an opportunity for guys to go.
It was fun, right? You loved your experience, didn't you?
I did love my experience. I did a couple commercials when I was in Los Angeles. It's a lot of fun.
And you were good.
You're amazing, Kevin. Thank you.
They
for
won,
that.
and they won awards.
Thank you. The things did win awards.
I know.
You're very kind. It's not a distraction, though. These guys are kids. They want to do things. They want to do things musically. They want to be on stage. They want to be in movies. They want to do TV shows.
Too, right? Helps the league and notoriety and everything else.
Why not?
Now, here's Sexton. Guarded by Fox. Sexton's shot is good.
Are we sure that's the same player, guys? He looks completely different. What confidence he's playing with, and look how engaged he is on both ends.
Kufis kicks to Fox. Back to Kufis. Oh, he's going to get hit with his second flagrant foul of the day, and that's the limit. He's out of the game and on his way to the locker room.
And it's a much earlier end to this game for him than he would have wanted. He brought it on himself, though, Kevin. I mean, 2 fouls that were way too forceful.
Hey, G, the official's not cutting him any slack on the second one, but that usually is the way it goes. You know, once you've crossed the line and committed the first flagrant, there's a zero-tolerance policy. We all know that when it comes to the next one. The Cavaliers making a switch here. Decker's checked in. He misses the free throw. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. And Bogdanovich kicks to Fox. Healed outside. Shot clock at 5. Three-pointer. Krill's the three-pointer. Hield's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for the Kings.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the three ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it.
Decker passes to Fry. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
Yeah, that's a nice response there, leaving a voicemail in return from the three-point line. Looks like we're seeing similar game plans right now.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They're up by 6. There's 1:40 left to play in the final quarter. There's 1:40 left to play here in the fourth. Now, here's Kufis. D right on him. Fox with it. And taken away by Johnson. Here's Osman. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And Kevin, maybe the play of the game right there.
A tremendous instinct straight to come up with a steal and then attack the basket.
Well, the other part is just reading the crucial moment. That's a clutch move right there. It could change the outcome of the game.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
In the corner, it's Hield. Now, here's Fox. He's covered closely, and that one drops for him. And the Kings lead by 6.
Now, De'Aaron Fox stepping up for the team, showing he's capable in these moments.
Timeout called, Cleveland. They're trailing by 6. 51 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. .51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Sexton. Here's Fry. The shot, no good. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. And the Kings making a change here. Cauley-Stein's checked in. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Pass to Bagley. And they go to the intentional foul.
2 shots.
2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
And the game Bagley has reminds me a little bit of Chris Bosh, a sweet lefty who plays with force and passion.
And he ends up making the second, and that makes it a 7-point lead. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They're down by 7. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the middle, about 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Here's Sacramento now. 7-point differential. And here is Fox. So the Kings win it. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you next time.